it was making me out to be. I was the same person. I still had what it takes to be great. I never forgot that. In truth, I simply got caught like many others when the markets crashed. In all fairness, the government changed the tax laws in real estate and made those changes apply to buildings that were purchased years earlier when the tax code was different. It was unfair. That's what killed many developers. I don't blame anybody. I should have seen it coming. The market crash was just another down market, and my whole life I had made money in down markets. I blame myself because I was not as focused as I had been in the past. I learned from this mistake. I kept a firm belief in myself that no bankers or lawyers or media reporters could dislodge. I got super focused. I went back to work and never worked harder, ever. I'm still working, and I love it. Who you marry has a big impact on your ability to focus. I'll give you an example. Andre Agassi, the great tennis player, was known for his powerful forehand and aggressive style. Andre's father, Mike, a former boxer, started training Andre as soon as he was able to hold a racket. He gave little Andre paddles and balloons when he was still in a high chair. When he started playing tennis, Agassi would hit 5,000 balls every day. When Andre was 5 years old, he was already practicing with pros such as Jimmy Connors and Roscoe Tanner. He turned professional in 1986 and won his first top-level singles title in 1987. Agassi was ranked number 1 in the world in April 1995 and held that ranking for 30 consecutive weeks. In 1997, he married Brooke Shields, who I think is a fantastic person. His tennis suffered because of it. Distracted by all the media frenzy surrounding his celebrity marriage to Brooke, he lost his focus on tennis. He played only 24 matches, he won no titles, and his world ranking sank to an abysmal number 141. It seemed as if he was washed up and his career was over. I remember watching one of his matches at the time. His new wife, Brooke Shields, was watching, and he was losing. All of a sudden, she left before the match was over. I said, "What the hell's going on?" I figured she was coming back, but she never did. I later found out that Andre and Brooke really did not spend much time together. Brooke spent her time in Los Angeles, while Andre lived in Las Vegas. Rumors circulated that Brooke wanted to start a family and put pressure on Andre to cool it in the tennis circuit. But Agassi would not give in to her. He rededicated himself to tennis. He began a rigorous conditioning program. He won 5 titles and leapt from number 141 to number 6 within a year. He divorced Brooke Shields and started dating Steffi Graf in 1999, who supported his tennis career. Shortly thereafter, he took home the French Open title, a win that made him the 5th male player in tennis history to capture all 4 of the Grand Slam titles. He later married Steffi Graf and again became number 1, the woman behind the man. Another example is my former employee, Carolyn Kepcher. When she lost her focus, I had to fire her, but it was not like one of my dramatic boardroom scenes. The fact is, I like Carolyn very much. She worked for me for 11 years and was doing a good job managing my Trump National Golf Club in Briarcliff Manor, New York. After I started using her on The Apprentice, her love of fame and celebrity began affecting her work. She was not doing her job like she used to, or was capable of doing. After the show became successful, she became impossible for people to deal with. It went to her head. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, because I think it's human nature. This is not the first time such a thing has happened, nor will it be the last. Once Carolyn became famous, it was hard for her to go back to her desk and pay attention to her job running my golf club. I understand that, because I understand life. She was supposed to be managing the golf course. She was supposed to be selling memberships, and she was not doing it. She became a prima donna. She was off giving speeches for $25,000 and doing product endorsement deals. I would try to get her on the phone, and she would be off giving a speech, or was not at her desk. If I got her on the phone, I would ask, "How much are the belts? How much are the shirts? How much are the ties?" Her tone of voice said, "I can't believe you just asked me a question that's so boring." Before all the fame went to her head, I would ask, "How much are those shirts?" And she would tell me right away to the penny. It was very clear that I had to do something. I had to get somebody to run my club. I felt that after 11 years together, it was time to make a change. Carolyn is a terrific person, but it was just one of those things that had to be done. It's my duty to find somebody responsible to run my club. When she lost her focus, I had to find somebody else who would devote their full focus on the club. Carolyn lost her job because she believed what the media was saying about her. My rule is to never believe what anyone says about you, good or bad, especially the media. Do not believe the bad stuff, and certainly learn not to believe the good stuff. Draw your own conclusions about yourself. Listen to your own counsel. Nobody knows you better than you do. Now my club, Trump National, has new management, and it's doing great. Life goes on. In 2006, Ohio State was the #1 ranked college football team in the country, and the darling of the media. They were unstoppable. Nobody could beat them. They were the best team ever. When it was announced that Ohio State was to play Florida in the BCS Bowl, everyone said that Florida would lose badly, didn't have a chance, and didn't even deserve to be on the same field as Ohio State. Actually, the teams were pretty well matched. But there was one big difference. Ohio State believed the media, and Florida did not. Ohio State believed that it was without a doubt the better team. They believed they had the game in the bag, and that it was going to be a blowout victory for them. In their minds, they had taken all the credit for winning the game before the ball was snapped. They already thought they were the national champions. They lost the intense focus you need to win in big-time college football. Florida, on the other hand, refused to believe the hype about how they were a second-rate team and not worthy to be playing Ohio State. They respected Ohio State and knew they were going to be in the battle of their lives, and they prepared for it. They lived for it and trained intensely with one goal in mind, beating Ohio State and winning the national championship, and it worked. Florida jumped out to a quick lead and got all the momentum. Ohio State never caught up. Florida surprised everyone by beating Ohio State in a stunning blowout victory. If you want to become successful and stay successful, you must learn how to focus. Comedian Tim Allen is very successful now. Several decades ago, he was not as successful. Allen had a substance abuse problem. He even spent time in jail. Today, he owns a production company, picks his scripts, and is a star. So his system is more than a theory. For him, at least, it has produced results. He said that he uses 3 lists to maintain his focus. The first list contains the greatest goals he wants to achieve in his life. The second list has the things he needs to do this year in order to reach his life goals. And the final list keeps him focused on the things he needs to do today in order to reach his life goals. It's very simple. The key to making this system work is discipline. The ultimate winner is the man or woman who has the discipline to do this every day of their lives without fail. Champion chess player Bobby Fischer was passionate about staying focused on chess strategy. When asked about his technique, he said, "I don't believe in psychology. I believe in good moves." He also boasted that he gave 98% of his mental energy to chess, while others gave only 2%. That explains his success. He enjoyed the challenge of focusing his mental energy. Every successful person has had to deal with problems. I know people who see a problem as a game to be won, and they focus on solving it. I know other people who see every problem as a burden, and they are defeated before they start. Some people carry around a lot of mental baggage, which destroys their focus. Get rid of it. It just gets in the way and slows you down. When I was doing the first season of The Apprentice, I was new to TV, and I had very little knowledge of how TV shows work, how networks operate, and how ratings are determined. I also did not have the same TV-related baggage that many other TV personalities have. I didn't worry that I was an unknown on TV, that I was doing a business show, and that no business show had ever been successful. I didn't worry about ratings and sponsors. I just didn't consider the fact that 95% of all new shows fail. My lack of experience was actually a good thing, because I was free of mental baggage and worry. I just put all my concentration into what I was doing, and as problems surfaced, I dealt with them. Too many people think too much about their current situation, instead of thinking about what could be. They're so caught up in the problem that they lose the ability to envision a solution. If you have a problem with a difficult employee, for example, and you focus on how bad the person is and how they are destroying morale in the whole office, you will lose your focus. Then you end up going over and over in your mind all their faults, and you torture yourself with how bad it is right now. You'll never find a solution that way. You have lost the focus on your goals by letting your mind focus only on your difficulties. Don't get caught up in all the crap. Acknowledge the problem, and then shift your attention immediately to possible solutions. Start by first thinking about what is good about the existing situation. Then dream up scenarios in which things are better. Then come up with as many ideas as you can of ways to attain the results you want. Write down these ideas without judging.